recording you're about to hear comes from a body-worn camera activated on the evening of July 22, 2017, during what was logged as a low-priority response. Not an emergency, not a crime in progress, at least not on paper.
That's enough. You throw one more thing, and this turns into something you don't want.
The call originated from a small sheriff's office serving a rural district in northern West Virginia, an area where long stretches of road pass without cell service, and most buildings are locked before nightfall. The location was St. Mark's Chapel, a modest, decades-old church sitting alone at the edge of a county road, surrounded by open fields and tree lines that swallowed light quickly after sunset. The call itself was unusual, but not alarming. A motion alarm had triggered inside the church shortly after 8:40 p.m. There was no camera feed and no accompanying security breach alert, just repeated motion inside a building that should have been empty. The church had been locked since Sunday afternoon. No scheduled events. No evening services, no maintenance crews. Still, false alarms happened. Animals, wind, faulty sensors. Deputy Aaron Keller was dispatched alone. His body camera activates as he pulls into the gravel lot at 9:07 p.m. The building is dark, completely. No interior lights, no glow from stained glass. The parking area is empty in a way that feels deliberate, not recent. No fresh tire tracks, no warmth lingering in the air, just the heavy stillness of a summer night. From the outside, the structure appears untouched. The wooden doors are closed, paint peeling but intact. The windows sit undisturbed, their frames old but firm. Nothing suggests urgency, and yet, the alarm has triggered 3 times in less than 20 minutes. Keller steps out of his vehicle and pauses, not because he hears something, but because he doesn't. Rural churches are rarely silent. In summer, there's usually something. Insects in the grass, distant wind, the quiet movement of heat settling into wood and metal. This one doesn't. He announces himself anyway, his voice echoing briefly before disappearing into the open space around the building.
Sheriff's office. Anyone here?
No response. As he approaches the main entrance, the body camera captures the faint hum of the alarm system inside. Active, but not blaring. Waiting. Keller tests the handle. Locked. Standard procedure would allow him to log the exterior as secure and clear the call. But before he steps away, something registers. Not a sound exactly. A brief interruption. Like air being displaced where it shouldn't be. He stops. Looks toward the side of the building. The alarm triggers again, inside, same sensor zone. And this time, Keller is certain of one thing. Whatever caused it didn't come from outside. Keller removes the chapel key from the department ring on his belt. The metal slides into the old cylinder lock with resistance. He turns it once. A heavy internal click releases the latch. The beam cutting a narrow path into the darkness as the heavy wooden door opens inward. The air inside is warmer than expected. Not stale, just still. Thick, as if it hasn't been disturbed in hours. The main nave opens slowly in front of him. Rows of wooden pews stretch toward the altar, their surfaces worn smooth by decades of use. The aisle between them is narrow, carpet faded. Edges curled slightly where countless feet once passed. High above, the ceiling arches upward, supported by dark wooden beams that disappear into shadow. The church feels larger from the inside. Not expansive, elongated. Keller steps forward, boots muffled against the carpet. His flashlight moves deliberately, sweeping across the pews, the pulpit, the hymn board mounted on the wall. Numbers still sit in their slots. No chalk dust, no notes pinned. Nothing looks disturbed, and yet the alarm hum continues. Soft, persistent, active. He pauses halfway down the aisle and calls out again.
Sheriff's office. If anyone's inside, make yourself known.
His voice doesn't echo the way it should. It doesn't bounce back from the walls. It simply fades. The body camera catches the subtle shift in his breathing, slower now, controlled. The kind that comes when an officer knows something is off but hasn't identified what yet. He turns toward the altar. The sacristy door behind it is slightly ajar. That shouldn't be the case. According to the key log, the church had been locked in full since Sunday afternoon. No partial access, no unlocked interior rooms. Keller approaches the altar steps, flashlight rising with him. As he reaches the top, the alarm tone inside the building dips momentarily. Not off, not louder, just interrupted. Then it resumes. Same zone, same sensor. He nudges the sacristy door open. Inside, the space is tight, functional. Shelving lines the walls, holding folded linens, old service books, sealed communion trays. A narrow counter runs along one side, its surface clean, dust undisturbed. No signs of rummaging, no footprints, no dropped items. But the temperature here is different. Cooler, not dramatically. Just enough to notice. Keller scans the room, then notices the hallway door beyond it. A narrow corridor leading along the side of the church toward the administrative offices. The alarm tone shifts again. This time, closer. He steps into the corridor. The carpet gives way to bare wood. The walls are lined with framed photographs, old congregation gatherings, harvest festivals, Easter services from decades past. Faces frozen mid-laughter. The flashlight lingers longer than necessary. Some of the frames are slightly crooked, not fallen, just angled. Keller adjusts one absent-mindedly as he passes. It tilts back into place with a soft click. Behind him, something moves. Not a footstep, not a sound he can point to. The camera catches him turning quickly, beam snapping back toward the nave. Nothing. The pews sit exactly as they were. He exhales once, steadying himself, then continues down the corridor. The administrative office door is open. Inside, a single desk sits beneath a window. Filing cabinets line the wall. A small lamp rests on the corner of the desk, switched off but warm to the touch when Keller brushes against it. Recently warm. He freezes. The alarm triggers again. Closer still. Same sensor. But now, Keller realizes something that hadn't registered before. The sensor covers more than one space. It overlaps. The alarm shouldn't be this consistent unless something is moving. Slowly, back and forth. He keys his radio. Static. He releases it, tries again. Nothing. No hiss, no feedback, just silence. The body camera captures him lowering the radio slowly, eyes lifting toward the ceiling. That's when the sound changes, not the alarm, something else. A faint scuff, above him. Not from the nave, not from the corridor, from somewhere deeper in the building. Keller turns, moving back toward the sacristy, then past it, toward a narrow door near the rear of the church, partially obscured by stacked folding chairs. The basement access. He hauls the chairs aside, the metallic screech piercing the silence as he clears the path. The alarm tone dips again, longer this time, then resumes. As he pulls the basement door open, a rush of cooler air moves upward, carrying with it a smell that doesn't belong to incense or old wood. Damp, earthy, as if the space below hasn't been aired out in a very long time. The stairs descend sharply. Concrete, no railing. The flashlight beam reaches the bottom, revealing a low-ceilinged room with exposed pipes, old storage shelves, and a second door set into the far wall. That door is open. Keller takes one step down, then stops. Because from somewhere above him, not inside the basement, not inside the nave, something shifts. A sound from higher up in the building, heavy enough to register, deliberate enough to feel placed. And for the first time since entering the church, Keller raises his weapon, not toward the basement, but back toward the main floor, toward the structure overhead, toward a part of the building he hasn't checked yet. And the alarm stops, completely, cut mid-tone, as if whatever had been moving had found where it wanted to be. Keller backs up slowly, never turning his back on the interior. His weapon stays raised, flashlight mounted beneath it, beam cutting across the nave as he retreats toward the main doors.
Sheriff's office! This isn't funny. If you're inside, you need to show yourself.
Nothing answers. The church remains perfectly still. He reaches the doors, pushes them open, and steps back into the night. The air outside feels different now, lighter, moving. Crickets have returned. Wind brushes the grass along the fields. The normal sounds of rural nightlife rush back in all at once, almost too loudly. Keller pauses just outside the threshold, catching his breath. Then, something strikes the ground a few feet to his right. Hard, sharp, the sound of stone against gravel. He flinches, spins, weapon snapping up as the body camera jolts with the movement.
What the hell?
His flashlight beam sweeps the ground. A rock, not small, not thrown far by accident, freshly broken along one edge. Keller's head lifts slowly. His light climbs the exterior wall of the church, tracing the aging brick upward, past the narrow stained glass windows, higher, toward the bell tower. The beam lands just below the openings near the top. Nothing visible. No silhouette, no movement. But the angle is wrong, too steep. The rock didn't come from the ground. It came from above.
Show yourself!
Keller shouts, voice carrying across the fields.
Hands where I can see them. Now!
He takes a step back, widening his stance, gun trained upward. The body camera captures the faint metallic sway of the bell rope through the opening, barely moving, as if recently disturbed. Keller keys his radio again.
This is Deputy Keller. I've got...
Static cuts him off mid-sentence. He lowers the radio, jaw tightening.
Dispatch. Do you copy?
Nothing. Another sound breaks the night. Not loud, not sudden. A slow, dragging scrape. Above him. Inside the tower. Keller's flashlight trembles slightly as he tracks the opening.
All right. Whoever you are, you need to come down. Slowly.
The scrape stops. For 3 seconds, there is nothing. Then, a second rock drops. Closer this time, it hits the gravel and rolls, stopping near his boot. Keller doesn't look down. His eyes stay fixed on the tower.
That's enough. You throw one more thing, and this turns into something you don't want.
Silence. Then, from somewhere high inside the structure, a laugh. Short, dry, cut off as quickly as it begins. Keller's finger tightens on the trigger. He takes a step backward without looking. Another step, never lowering his aim. And for the first time since arriving at St. Mark's Chapel, the realization settles fully in. Whatever triggered the alarm, whatever moved through the church, was never trapped inside with him. It was above him, and it had been watching the entire time. Keller keeps backing away from the church, eyes locked on the tower opening. His breathing is loud in the microphone now, uncontrolled.
Dispatch, do you copy? I've got a subject on the structure, possible vandal. I need...
The radio hisses, dies. He lowers it slowly. The laugh doesn't return. Instead, something else happens. The motion alarm inside the church activates again, not once, twice, 3 rapid triggers. All from the same zone, the sanctuary. Keller's head turns sharply toward the open doors behind him.
No.
He mutters. He pivots just enough to angle the flashlight inside. The beam cuts through the nave and stops. The light doesn't reach the far wall, not because of distance, because something interrupts it. A shadow stands just beyond the first row of pews. Human height. Still. Impossible. Keller freezes. The body camera catches his whisper.
That's not...
A stone drops again. This time it hits the church steps, behind him. He spins back toward the tower. Nothing, no movement, no sound, only the open dark. When he turns again, the shadow inside the church is gone. The alarm cuts out. Silence returns so completely it feels intentional. Keller takes one step backward, then another, never lowering his weapon.
I'm leaving the area. I'm leaving.
He says aloud, more for himself than protocol.
This is not secure.
He reaches the edge of the gravel lot. The camera captures one final sound. Footsteps. Not on gravel. Not on wood. Somewhere between the two. Too close. The footage cuts abruptly. The body camera was recovered 3 days later, lying beneath the bell tower. The church doors were locked. The alarm system showed no faults. No damage was found to the tower. Deputy Aaron Keller never filed a report. He never returned to duty. St. Mark's Chapel was closed permanently the following month, and no explanation has ever been given for what triggered the alarm, or what answered it. So what do you think triggered the alarm that night? Was someone inside the church, or did something learn how to move through it? Leave your theory below.